Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of your podcast. Tonight we will discuss about the match of Real Madrid and Atalanta, the European royalty versus the European newcomers. We have with us Simran and Sriram. Welcome guys. Hope we will have a great discussion tonight here.
Yeah.
And we will start off with one question. With so many injuries in the team, how do you think Zidane will play his squad? Will we go with the back four, or will we see a back three the way he played in the league a few days ago?
We may see a back three as Militao is not present and Ramos absent and Marcelo is also not present for us. We have an injury list of 9 players at the moment and we only have the squad list of 15 players. So he might go for a three in the back. But with Atlanta's, a good record of Atlanta's with their counter attack, we have to make our midfield very strong. Because if we lose possession, then I don't know what will happen in the back four or back three.
Sridham, how do you think Atlanta should take their chances considering Real Madrid is missing so many key players and other squad players?
Uh, yeah. So Real Madrid are missing players like in both defense and attack. So their midfield three will be the same. They're seasoned and like arguably the best of this generation. So there isn't any compromise that's going to happen in the midfield. So there are going to be like players missing for them in attack as well as in defense. And given Atlanta's option A will always be to outscore the opponent and not to contain them. So they would they would try to just force the defense on the back foot. Like they would try to target Real Madrid's defense rather than trying to sit back and like restrict them from scoring.
And as we have seen Real Madrid having a problem with pressures, like we saw against Ajax in the 4-1 loss and against
Yes.
Man City. So you think Atlanta will go with the high pressure gameplay?
Uh, I mean, see, Atlanta, you cannot stereotype as a high pressure team. Yes, they are high pressing, but it's not their only game. So they do switch between two modes, like depending on how the opponent plays. So if the opponent are willing to give them more of the possession and they are trying to sit back, then Atlanta are very much they play short passes and they try to retain possession and build up chances in a like steady manner, like instead of pressing. And if the opponent is giving having much of the possession, then they do get into presses. So it's not like Atlanta is only a pressing style or only a counter attacking style team. And they don't top neither of those charts in terms of their league. So they are not number one in possession, they are not number one in pressing. So but they are in top of both like among the top teams in both those lists. So it's going to be a mess. It will be depending on how Real Madrid start the game. So they will see like on which which mode Real Madrid get in. Based on that, Gasparini has an option to switch between two of his styles.
And we will not see Papu Gomez in Atlanta colors for the first time in Champions League. How does that exclusion make you feel?
Yeah, that would be. I mean, it would be a miss in terms of the club identity. So he is someone who's been like seen as the face of the club, but it won't be a miss. Like as in like his playing style will not be like completely missed. As in like Gasparini was able to replace him with other players, like as seen in the league performances recently. So like Papu Gomez as a player will not be missed, but Papu Gomez as an image, as an inspiration, like behind, as a voice of the club, he will be missed. So that would be there.
So, so you are saying the mentality, the experience that will be missing, right?
There is no experience to begin with, so there is not much to miss. So they are relative newcomers. So last season was their first season ever in Champions League, and they still went as high as quarterfinals. So that is a good first season to begin with for a club of their stature. So like they would take it one step at a time. It would not be like, okay, we have to like improve on that performance. So as long as they progress, it would be a bonus, but they won't regress. They won't regret going out. So experience as much as it comes.
Well, Real Madrid is missing two of the key players in the lineup, naming Benzema. I'm so sorry, Benzema and Sergio Ramos, two of the biggest stalwarts of the team. And Atlanta will miss Papu Gomez. So, are you saying that the lineups will be more or less equal in terms of the mentality side?
It should be. So is this a question to me first, or like to her?
Yeah, it was to you, exactly. It was to you.
Okay, yeah. So like in terms of experience, it would still be like Atlanta behind. I'll tell you why. Like Zidane and like a good bunch of his players alone, they have won more Champions League finals than Atlanta's whole squad has Champions League knockout ties. So there is always that mismatch in experience. So you cannot compensate for that. And like as much as Real Madrid say there are players missing, they can play someone like Andre Lunin as a CV, and like they would still be able to like put up the performance in a Champions League. That is what Real Madrid DNA is made up of. So there is always that bound to happen. So I mean I cannot rule that out, but still it's not like Atlanta will say, okay, like we are facing Real Madrid, let's just give up on the first minute. That's not going to happen. So they would give like whatever they can, like for 180 minutes.
And Simran, what will be the difference? Same question to you, actually.
Yeah, see, we have Ramos, Marcelo, and Benzema missing, three of our captains. So, of course, our team will miss them, and the team has to show a lot of resilience and character. Because without Ramos, we all know that the team becomes a little bit weak. I won't say in terms of defense, because we still have good players in the back, but in terms of the mentality, in terms of the strength he provides to the team by just being there. And with Marcelo and Benzema also not available, I think the team will have to work really hard and will have to, show a lot of courage to face Atalanta. And let's see what happens.
And as Real Madrid is missing Benzema, they are missing their biggest chance in attack.
Exactly.
Benzema has scored 16 goals in all competitions, and his closest competitor in his own team is Casemiro with only 6 goals. So there's a huge diminution in the firepower.
Exactly.
And we have Zapata and Muriel firing on all cylinders, and a few other players of their team who has more than 5 or 6 goals. Am I right, Sridham?
Not yet in this season. So it was the case in the last season. So they're catching up. They are almost there, even in this season's numbers. So yeah, like maybe
We
in a month or
have
so,
been
like they'll be there. Yeah.
Well,
we
just
have been
like
lacking in goals since last season, I guess.
So I mean, on a personal note, a team that is depending more on its defenders to score goals than its attackers, there is, I mean, they do have a problem. Like, not that they would like to admit, but yeah, it's a
Oh,
concern on a long run.
we have admitted it many a times. It is a problem. It has been a problem since last season. We won the last season just on the basis of our defender scoring, our midfielder scoring, and Benzema, of course, being the top scorer. But apart from that, I think our defense only won us the league. the last season. And this
Yes.
season, our defense is also going south. So I don't know what to say.
Considering
And
Courtois' super form in
fun
last
fun part
season
is,
and yes,
yeah,
Sriram, please
yeah.
continue.
Before you start, like,
Yes, yes.
one fun part is Benzema is actually outscoring every one of Atlanta's attackers. But
Well,
yeah, Atlanta's
considering
attack
he's
comeback.
missing,
Yeah.
But we will be
So
missing him.
so
exactly.
once he's missed, like the entirety of Atlanta's attack like has a huge boost in numbers.
And considering Courtois has been phenomenal since last season, he was the top goal keeper last season, and he is currently in the number one position in terms of clean sheets in the league. How do you fare
Yes.
your chances with the attackers, Sriram?
Uh, yeah, I mean, so I just saw that he has a save percentage of nearly 80%. So that is like 4 out of 5 shots that he's getting on target, he'll save. So for Atlanta to score 2 goals on an average, they have to at least like shoot 10 times at him. So that would be hard work to begin with. But yeah, I mean, given that they are volume shooters, like they create too many shot taking opportunities. So we can expect like too many shots going at Courtois' way, but given the skilled goalkeeper that Courtois is, like we cannot expect freebies. So there is that bound to happen. But yeah, I mean, like at some point, like chances are meant to be taken. So they cannot stop trying, like thinking Courtois is there. So keep shooting as much as possible and just assume like one goes in. That's it.
And one question to Simran now. As we have seen, Zidane has only 5 or 6 attackers in the squad, namely Vinicius, Asensio, Mariano, Isco, and Hugo Duro, the newcomer. Do
Yes.
you see Mariano playing with Vinicius and Asensio, or we will see Isco as the false nine?
I will prefer Mariano over Isco because Isco has been not very good for us, and his tempo doesn't match with our gameplay. Like he was phenomenal in 2016-17 season when he fired cannons all over, but from the last few seasons he has not been at his best, and he carries the ball for a little too much of time, and his shots are also not that good. So I would prefer Mariano. But we may also, hello?
Yes, you are
Yeah.
audible.
Haha. We may also see a diamond formation in our midfield, I guess, if we want to, have more dominance in the game. But we
So
do
you are
have a
not
very,
ruling out.
Mhm.
You are not ruling out the chance of Isco appearing.
Yeah, I'm not ruling out the chance because he does he does have a certain power, but still, let's see. We have to be dominant in the game, otherwise we will be conceding a lot of goals.
Yes, on the terms of conceding a lot of goals, last night's game again of Atlanta and Napoli, we had a
Yeah.
goal fest of 4-2 to Atlanta. Sriram, after this game, do you think the team will be pumped up enough to face Real Madrid?
Uh so I mean, they are ideally pumped up every game. So they don't discriminate between opponents. So that's an advantage of being an underdog. So you don't have to fear everyone. So like you can take everyone as granted, and like even if you lost, there won't be much of haters. So there is always that uh, plus point which is there in Atlanta's case. But yeah, like yesterday's game was a good practice, like in terms of facing Napoli. Napoli are among the topmost teams in terms of pressing, like
Exactly.
in Serie A. So it is a good practice game, like how I would say, like before Real Madrid game. And the second thing is like they did rest like couple of players whom I'm expecting to start against Real Madrid. So I think they did get like a good 3 4 days extra in terms of like getting their muscles like ready for the game, so they would not be fatigued.
And how do you think Gasperini should ready his squad? Will he go with a three in the back or a normal four back line?
It would be three. So it would be 3-4-1-2 or a 3-4-2-1, like depending on they want that extra attacking midfielder to counter Real Madrid's midfield three. So it depends, like whether they want that extra striker or the extra midfielder to run their midfield.
So, how do you fare your defense's chance against Vinicius, Mariano, Asensio, and Isco, if I dare say?
It won't be like they won't see 1v1, like they won't target individuals. So it would always be like cutting clear cut chances before they reach a point of shooting. So that would be their ideal line of defense, like first of all. So like their presses always begin at the attacking third, like some teams they try to be reactive in terms of defending, like after the opponent gets into scoring or like shooting position, they try to block or they try to intercept the ball, like that isn't the case with Atlanta mostly. So their presses begin like even in the opponent half. Like the moment Real Madrid gets the turnover, like a switch of play, like they would try to get the pass. I mean, they would try to get the ball, and like within 5 seconds of press that begins. So
And
in terms
we
of
have,
yeah, in
yes,
terms of
please go on.
in terms of winning the ball back, once the press is begun, like they are number one in terms of that press percentage. So
The success
there
rate.
is yes, press success rate.
And we have seen Varane fumbling a lot when he's being pressed. He did
Yes.
it in the league, he did it in the Champions League. So we might see a repeat, right?
No, I don't think so. I hope not.
Okay. Simran is going with a no, and I'm
No.
hoping Shriram will say yes.
Ah, I'm expecting it to be an S. So I'm not hoping it to be an X, but yeah, I
Well,
mean, I don't want him to be missing all balls for 90 minutes, but yeah, the more he misses, the better.
better chances, yeah. And Real Madrid has a prized midfield trio. Do you see
Yes.
Atlanta giving a competition to it, at least blocking them enough? Because we have seen Luka Modric scoring from all over the pitch.
Of
Sriram,
course, there will
please,
be competition.
there will be a competition.
Of
And
course, it
Sriram,
will be a head-to-head game.
Yes. So
head-to-head game is all we are getting.
yeah, it would be head to head. Like there is no walkover. There are no easy meals when it comes to CL knockouts. So yeah, every game is as competitive as it gets. But yeah, like to be talked in level terms with the Real Madrid midfield itself is credit. Itself is a testimonial to what to the level with which Atlanta have grown in 4 years. So I would take that De Roon and Freuler, if they are able to stop Cruz and Modric, yeah, I would take it every day of the year.
Of course. Well, I hope Atlanta plays well. Like it will help in their experience in the future. But I also don't
Yes.
hope Real Madrid give away the match so easily. That they have done pretty much every game in the group stages except Inter Milan, right, Simran?
Yes. Yes, yes, exactly. They have to be very much aggressive in this game. They have to go for the first balls, the second balls, every other ball. They cannot like sit back and wait for someone to, get the position back and then start again from the bottom. They have to be very aggressive towards Atalanta, or there will be consequences. Because we have seen Atalanta scoring from almost every possible way, and our defense is a bit questionable at this time.
And we'll move on to our next topic. Who do you think should be or will be the key player for your team? Sriram first.
There are no key players as in like it's all about team effort in terms of Atlanta. The way they have expressed themselves for the last 4.5 5 years under Gasparini. So there aren't individuals. There is no individualism at all. So yeah, there is Ilicic, there was Papu Gomez, but yeah, that's about it. But even them, they aren't the only ones who are carrying the team. So even in their absence, even when they are having a bad game, other players always put up their hand and they do perform like to cover up for other people's absence. So yeah, it will always be like Gasparini first. So Gasparini and his tactics comes first, and the 11 players on the pitch, they give their 110, 120, 25. Like it's beyond 100 always. So there is no lack of effort from them.
And same question to you, Simran.
I hope everyone brings their A game, but I believe it will be Modric and Courtois who would be our key players.
And Atlanta has conceded a lot of goals in the late minutes of the game, right, Sriram?
Not just late minutes, they concede from like loose shots or like seemingly like easy chances. So there is
And
that.
we have seen Real Madrid coming back to life in the last 5-10 minutes of the
Yes.
game. Like they have this extra spark somehow in their
Well,
blood.
that is the
That is the
difference.
last 10 minutes. So that's
That
the
is the
difference
difference.
between experience, right? And
Experience and also, the knack to never give up. Like they won't give up till the last minute. Doesn't matter what the result is at the end of the day, but yeah, Real Madrid will keep on trying till the last minute. And I hope they do because we are depending on them to at least win the first leg so that we can, have faith that we will move forward because getting out in the round of 16 for the third consecutive time for Real Madrid, it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I do not want to face that.
yes, on topic of getting out in the last 16, Sriram, do you think Atlanta will make Real Madrid bow down for the third consecutive time? That Ajax and Man City have shown is not a distant possibility.
Uh, yeah, I mean, to be spoken on level with Man City is like a big plus because Man City themselves schooled Atlanta last year. So there is
Yes.
that. So sorry. Uh, so yes. I mean, I'm not saying it would be one way traffic. So like just uh, someone who is ignorant of the recent form and just looking at the fixture list, they would think this would be like a straight like clear cut win for Real Madrid, which isn't
Yeah.
going to be the case. So like Atlanta will take it like 90 minutes at a time. Like they will not like plan ahead of the time. So they would just play the home leg first, see how it goes, then based on the plan on for the return leg. But yeah, I mean it's it's always about like outscoring. So they would not want to like sit back and defend definitely. And like in 4.5 years under Gasparini, there are like just 5 teams like in 5 years who kept like two clean sheets in the same season against them. So like keeping two clean sheets against them back to back is not that easy as it sounds. Atlanta will take their chances in terms of outscoring them. That's about it.
So Courtois has a huge task on his hand, keeping a clean
Yes.
sheet.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
on topic of 90 minutes, what are the predictions? Simran, what do you think will be the score line?
I generally don't do a score prediction, but
But you have to do here.
yeah, being overly optimistic here, I think it will be a 3-2. because Atlanta will score. Yeah. By seeing yesterday's match highlights, I think Atlanta will score, and I'm being highly optimistic.
And you are being highly optimistic that Real Madrid will score
Will
3.
score 3 goals. I know it sounds impossible, but yeah, I cannot say that Real Madrid will lose.
Well, nothing is impossible for Real Madrid,
Nothing is
I'm sure.
impossible.
And Sriram, what's the score line?
Uh, so given it's a home game, I would think that they would want to score early, score big. So I think that would be something on the lines of 3-0 or 3-1. So like
3-0 and 3-1.
so limiting them to as minimum away goals as possible. That would be the like the prime target, or like the first thing they should achieve. So not to concede too many away goals.
So both of you want your teams to score 3 goals. I don't know what this magic number is, but it seems it's 3 here in this case. Well,
Yeah.
talking about magic, both the teams need to bring a lot in the table, and it was very lovely to have you both. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, and we will end it here. It was
Okay.
absolutely a pleasure chatting with you guys, and I hope you will be back soon. Good night, guys. See you later once more.
Yeah. Thank you for having us. Good night.
Yeah. Thank you. Good night.